Hi, so 6 weeks post-surgery, really pleased with the healing of the scar. I have got a little bit of discomfort where I can feel the heads of some of the screws. I think you can just see, I run my finger over there. But considering I've got 3 in this little bony part of my ankle, and then a further 4 up through my plate here, I'm really pleased. You can see that my scar is a little bit more pronounced and a little bit more angry down here under my ankle, and that's the main part of my leg that swells. So by the end of the day, I've often got quite a defined line here and a very bulbous ankle with the swelling, but that's just going to get better and better through time. So this is just 6 weeks post-surgery, and I'm really pleased with that. If I turn around, see the inner side of my ankle, the medial side, you'll see there that I've still got quite a lot of bruising here where I dislocated my ankle, had the posterior break of my malleolus. And this deltoid ligament here is going to take quite a bit longer to heal. So you can see that that's still quite a bruised part of my leg. But I've been continuing with the exercises 3 times a day. I'm really pleased. So my plantar flexion as I take my foot down towards the floor is really improved. And my dorsiflexion as I draw my toes up towards my shin is quite a bit tighter. But my exercises continue. I do a clockwise rotation of my ankle, an anti-clockwise rotation, and my inversion, my turning in of my foot, and my eversion, my turning out of my foot. I also do a little routine where I try and draw the alphabet, firstly in capitals, and then in lowercase, or you can mix things up if this starts to get a little bit boring, and write yourself a little note, have a little play, something you'd like to tell somebody, and just spell it out with your foot. But just this mindful act of thinking about going through the alphabet. When I started this, I didn't have this amount of movement. In fact, for quite some time, days in fact, I had no movement. But I still believe that while I was doing that, the act of trying is a little bit of self-care and self-love, and it also stimulates some blood flow down through the vascular system. So I had my focus on the action, on the trying rather than the outcome. Literally, when I started this, my foot hardly moved. So I did this multiple times a day, normally morning, noon and night. I'm probably losing my place with my alphabet when I'm talking through this, but I'm just doing some extra if I am. So this is one of the exercises that even when your movement is very limited, that I highly recommend, just as an act of self-care, and literally holding the pen, doing what you can do when you can do it. Wish you all the best of luck with your recovery. One of my other tips that I found is actually touching the leg. So I've got some neuropathy, some loss of sensation in my nerves, particularly this nerve coming down here that then feeds into that little toe side of my foot. So I've got some sensation, but very changed sensations, very dull, very tingling. So I touch my leg a lot as an act of self-care and of self-love. I've also got a little brush. I also moisturise with an E45. When my scar was less healed, I was putting on some Sudocreme or an antiseptic cream on the scar, but now I'm able just to use a normal E45. And just this act of self-care, of self-love, I'm sure helps with healing. I'm a big believer in that. So don't be afraid to touch yourself and thank your body for what it can do, and not focus on what it can't do while it's still in this healing process. So I get some quite strange sensations, some almost like bubbling and tingling still when I do this, but definitely a nice moisturiser, a nice act of stimulating that blood flow, and just keep moving. So I wish you luck with your journey. Don't compare, we're all different. So just do what you can when you can. Cheers.